Home sweet home.
I'm all right.
Listen, I'll stow your gear, and then I gotta take off to the hospital, all right? Let me help you with your coat. Okay. Listen, I wish you would reconsider about getting a nurse. I got the news from the hospital on your new schedule. You want to hear it?
Sure.
Okay, take a load off your feet. Get the break. Now, we'll resume where we left off before the relapse. We'll work twice a day with hospital equipment. That'll be afternoon and morning.
Fine.
Then, if you take my advice, you'll stay put. You can have lunch in the hospital, rest, and you'll be all set for the afternoon session.
I want to come home between sessions.
What sense does that make? Who's going to cook for you?
Little Red Riding Hood.
Hey, that's very funny. You know, you got a sense of humor. That's supposed to be very, very healthy. Which reminds me, I better check your cupboard.
Never mind.
I can't leave you stranded.
Forget it.
You can say it again. You've got enough chow here to feed a battalion. Frozen dinners, steaks, chops.
Thanks for the inventory.
Look, we both know it's going to be rough for you, right? Without your wife. That'll be at first. But take my word for it, I think you're going to make more progress.
Drop it.
I don't mean any disrespect to Mrs. Harrington, but one of the reasons...
I said drop it. What's the matter? You deaf?
Can I get anything else for you?
No.
Are you going to be all right? Are you sure?
Go home, Atwell, will you?
All right. I'll see you in the morning.
Or is it afternoon?
I don't think it makes any difference.
Would this be all right?
Actually, I prefer to sit over there, if you don't mind. Hello there.
Hello, Susan.
Thank you. I think I'll begin with tomato juice.
With lemon?
No, with vodka. Thank you. Would you care to join me in a drink?
No, thanks.
Just a little eye-opener?
No, I've just finished my lunch, thank you.
Oh, that's right. You're new to this routine, aren't you? At least this time round. Well, don't forget the rules that get you through the day. Number 1, sleep late, and number 2...
I really don't have that problem, Susan.
Well, that's good. That's good. But when it does catch up to you, do let me know. Perhaps I can help you.
I hardly think so.
But I'm an expert. In fact, I've been thinking of forming a club, the Lonely Hearts Club. You know, perhaps it would be more in to call it group. Do you sing or play an instrument?
Miss.
I'll be just right there. Thank you.
Or coffee. Check, please.
Well, perhaps it isn't a good idea to call it the Lonely Hearts Club group. That's sort of laying it on the line, isn't it?
Your check, Mrs. Harrington. Thank you.
You know, Betty, I really think you ought to do what Stephen wants you to.
Susan.
I mean, after all, he does have a chance to contest the last will and testament of Foxy Grandpa. Now, why don't you go along with it?
Tell me something. Do you get graded for your assignments?
I beg your pardon?
Let me put it another way. Do you enjoy running errands for Stephen?
I enjoy Stephen.
So much that you'd do anything for him?
Within reason. And I think what I'm suggesting is quite reasonable. I mean, if Stephen can help you get back that beautiful inheritance, why fight it?
Would you excuse me, please?
I'd think about it.
After I think what's in it for Stephen and for you. May I take your order now, Miss Sweater?
Yes. I'd like a little more vodka in this, please.
Fighting.
Well, what do you think?
Well, I think that there is a family resemblance.
Well, it's probably only because of the sensitive look on his face.
Oh, yes, all those... Oh. But it is awfully nice of you. This...
What? You mean bringing a pretty girl to a smelly fish market?
No, I mean the dinner tonight for Mother.
Well, it's actually because I'm being very selfish or very shellfish or something, but I think it's because I don't very often get a chance to be the chef to the two prettiest girls in town.
Well, you folks made up your mind yet?
Yes, we have. Or have we?
I think so.
I will take this old-timer over here and this little rookie here.
And I think I'll have this regular-looking one here.
Oh, are you sure?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Then that'll be all?
Yes, I think that'll do it, Mr. Magnuson. Could you hold him here for us while we go over to Sire Barrel for lunch?
Sure, sure. Pick 'em up anytime you want.
Okay, fine, thanks.
thank you
You hungry?
for a change.
Hey, that wind's picking up a little bit.
Yeah, gusty.
Hello, Doc. Carolyn?
Hello.
Daddy?
Good.
Dr. Rossi.
Excuse me.
I saw you across the way. I didn't want to intrude.
What brings you to town?
Business. The truth is, I wanted to see you.
Oh, Dr. Rossi and I were just going to have lunch.
Well, that's all right, Dad. Then why don't you stay, talk to your dad, and I'll go pay for the lobsters, huh?
Wait a minute. Why don't we all have lunch together?
Oh, I was hoping I could talk to you alone.
Oh.
Well, no, that's all right, Dan. Yeah. I'll see you and your mother later tonight.
Okay.
Fred?
Doctor? Don't worry. I won't bite you.
No, I know. Well, it's just that Dr. Rossi invited me to lunch, and, well, he was putting...
You ready for your table, Mr. Russell?
Carolyn?
All right.
Yes.
Right this way.
May I take my coffee?
Sure.
Hey, let me take your coat, sir.
Carolyn, how have you been?
I'm fine. How have you been?
Just great.
Good.
What would you like?
May I think about that for a minute?
Sure, but while you're thinking about it, why don't you think about a good protein drink? You look a little peaked to me. She looks a little thin, doesn't she?
No.
I missed seeing you last week, and I've missed you. Have you been?
I've been fine. How have you been?
Fine, fine.
Was there something special that you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, as a matter of fact, there was. There's something I wanted to ask you. Or rather, there was something I wanted to ask. The question seems to have been answered.
Was it about Mother and Dr. Rossi?
I thought you were going to put in a good word for me.
Yes, I was.
And you decided against it?
No, that's...
Yeah?
Well, when I mention your name, Mother is, very reserved and polite.
Carolyn, do you want Dr. Rossi to marry Mother?
I don't know. I want her to be happy.
I expect that means you're not going to help me.
No, that's what... Daddy, I couldn't.
If you wanted to.
No.
And obviously you don't want to.
No, that's not true. You're putting words into my mouth.
Am I?
Daddy, I love you. And I would do anything to bring you and Mother back together again. But she doesn't want you. And I can't interfere.
I need you. Both of you back. The life I'm living is tearing me apart.
You chose it.
Carolyn, you owe me something.
I owe you?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know that there was a barter system, that because you raised me and kept a roof over my head that I owed you something. I love you. You're my father. Isn't that enough?
I'm fighting for my life.
I can't help you.
You mean you won't?
I can't.
I love you, Mother, very much.
Well, I think maybe you're scared or lonely, bored, maybe even jealous.
I want her back.
Well, then, you're just going to have to get her back yourself. Because I will not do anything to change the way she feels about Dr. Rossi.
Carolyn.
preview from the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Don't press me. This is hard enough.
Mrs. Harrington, listen, we got to be going.
Look, nobody said this was going to be easy, but we have...
I know that. But I just cannot live this way.
What are you trying to tell me? That my daughter and Lou Miles are seeing one another?
Is that it? That's it! Shut up!